Hi there, it's Nicole here today with a card featuring Distress Resist spray and direct-to-paper inking using the brand new Mama Elephant Donut Treats stamp set and coordinating dies to embellish on top of this awesome Distress Spray Resist background. We're going to start with a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock that I've trimmed to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and I'm spritzing it pretty generously with the Distressed Resist spray. Now I went ahead and sped up the drying process with a heat tool. You could also set it aside to air dry if you have the time to do that. But you want to make sure it's good and dry, and then go ahead and ink on top of that with some inks. Now I found it would be easiest for my card today to do this with ink cubes, and the Distress ink cubes are going to be the perfect size, and I'm going to do direct to paper, taking the ink cube and kind of doing stripes or little strips here of ink right over that Distress Resist spray. So I've got picked raspberry, spiced marmalade, squeezed lemonade, twisted citron, peacock feathers, and shaded lilac for a more pastel or more pastel kind of rainbow rather than a traditional kind of red type of rainbow. Then I'm going to take a dry paper towel and really carefully, I didn't want to cross-contaminate, so I kind of switched to a clean area on my paper towel frequently. I want to wipe off that excess ink and remove that from anywhere that has the Distressed Resist spray. And you can see where anywhere that spray is, it resists the ink and creates this really awesome background. So fun. Next, I'm going to stamp my images from the new Donut Treats stamp set that I'm going to use for my birthday card today. And I could not pick among the adorable images from this stamp set, so instead we're going to use all of them on my card to do a little grouping of these cute little mice and these donuts. I'm inking these up with some jet black ink. This is a great ink for Copic coloring. And I am using the Mini Misty to do this so that I can stamp the outline one on top of another to get a really great, nice, bold black outline, great for coloring in with my markers. So here is my background. Now while I have my Misty out, I'm going to go ahead and clean those stamps up, remove those, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment on my background. Now kind of down near the bottom, I was a little bit careful to not spray quite as much so that I could stamp a greeting directly on the background. Anywhere that Distress Resist spray is going to resist the ink, so you want to choose somewhere that doesn't have that, or you'll want to stamp this on a separate piece of paper and adhere it to your card. So I stamped that with a little VersaFine ONYX black ink. I'm using your old ... but you donut, look it, happy birthday. It's so cute and clever. Now I did go ahead and take my heat tool and dry this ink because it's VersaFine ink. It is a pigment ink and it stays wet a little longer, so I just wanted to get that dry. Next, I'm going to color in all of my images with Copic markers. I have listed the colors I'm using across the top of the screen, and I tried to do this in stages, meaning I did the donuts themselves first, then I'll move on to the frosting and the frosting on the donuts, the party hats, the candles, because those are all going to be in these same bright colors that I'll be showing here in a minute across the top of the screen, and then finally the mice, and then the box for the donuts. The great thing about this adorable box for the donuts is that the die cuts the little slit in the box, so you can tuck any of these inside there that you want to, which really makes for a fun element on your card. Once the donuts are colored, I am adding my color with my markers here, and again, very much pulling the colors from what I used in the background. So we've got pink frosting, orange frosting, yellow, green, kind of an aqua, and then the really pretty purple that kind of matches the shaded lilac that I used. I'm using RV 52 and 55 for the pink, Y are 15, 16, and 18 for orange, Y 11 and 19 for yellow. And then for the green, I went a little bit darker than the Twisted Citron. I started with YG21 and Y17, but they just didn't blend too good. And the more of the YG21 that you add, the greater the chance of it bleeding. It has quite a bit of colorless blender in it. So I just went in with a little YG23 to blend that out. Then BG 11 and 15 for the aqua. And that is my first stack of donuts. The rest of the donuts we're going to color in with an assortment of these same colors, except for the last purple donut here, which is B 60, 63, and 66. And then we'll have another pink donut, another aqua donut, another green one, and another orange. Just really quick coloring to get all this color down on the tops of the donuts. I really love how it coordinates back to the really fun Distressed Resist sprayed background. Just a couple more here. Now, while I have all of my bright color markers out, I went ahead and colored in anything else that was going to be colorful on my card. So that's going to be candles. That's going to be the party hats on the mice, and that's going to be the flames on the tips of the candles. So I did a little Y08 for the tips of the candles there while I go ahead and finish the last frosting on my last donut. And then just kind of did assorted colors for the candles with pink, orange, aqua, purple, and yellow. Make everything very bright and colorful here. And then the party hats, again, assorted colors. And I even did a little orange tip at the flames in the center of the yellow. So we've got an aqua party hat, just taking a contrasting color for the little pom-pom at the top, a yellow party hat with aqua, a pink party hat with a little purple. For the mice, we're going to use warm gray 0, 0, 1, and 3, and R00 0 for the cheeks on each of the mice, keeping them very, very light. This is kind of assembly line style coloring today. Finally, we have the box. I decided I didn't want to use one of the colors I'd already used, so we're just going to do a really light kind of peachy pink here to add color to the box, but not have it one of the same colors we used for frosting or any of the other decorations. And this is R000, R11, and R21. And the R21 is used pretty sparingly where everything would naturally be darkest on the box. Just laying down that color. And then we're going to take the coordinating dies and die cut all of these images before popping them on the card. So I taped them down with a little Post-it tape so that I could run them all through my die cutting machine with one pass and have all of my images die cut at once. Starting with the box and the two donuts, I'm going to tuck those in the box, grab my adhesive, and just run my tape runner along the back of this, and then pop this in place on my card. And I'm going to not press it down really good yet, just to make sure that I have the arrangement and placement where I want. The stack of 5 donuts over on the right side of the card, then the donuts with the candles coming out of them, next to the box of donuts, and finally the final donut with the little mouse popping up out of the center over to the left. And then we've got the one individual mouse left that I want popping up kind of behind the 2 donuts in the box. Normally we wouldn't want mice in our donuts, but these cute little guys are just a fun little element and add so much whimsy and so much cute to this birthday card. Ready to add some finishing details now. I'm going to take a white jelly roll pen and add little dots, frosting stripes, and sprinkles to my donuts. So some of the donuts are going to feature little dots. Some are going to feature the frosting stripes, and I'm just drawing in those stripes with my white pen. And then some I'm going to use kind of short little dashes for some sprinkles. And I'm going to do this for all of the donuts. It's a great finishing element. You guys, if you watch my videos, you probably know how much I love adding white pen detail to almost every finished card I make, whether it be a die cutting card or a stamping card. I love the look of the white pen against the darker color. And I think it adds a lot to these designs. Then we're going to take glossy accents and add that to the tip of the candles, the little flames, to give them a glossy raised finish. You probably wouldn't have to. I really don't know how well it shows up in real life even, because they're so teeny tiny. But I have a tendency whenever using birthday candles, I love to finish them off with glossy accents. And so I went ahead and did that here as well. Just a tiny little bit. This is where a fine tip applicator comes in very handy. Then I've got these little candy hearts from Honeybee Stamps in the light pink color that I'm going to add. And then we're going to finish the card with a scattering of Pretty Pink Posh iridescent mini star confetti all over. I love the iridescent confetti because it really picks up the color of whatever you have in the background. So it's going to work really great with this pastel rainbow design. I'm using a jewel picker to pick all of these little pieces up and then pop them right into the little drops of Ranger Multi-Matte Medium that I've placed on my card. And I started with a few, and I'm going to go back and add a few more here and there, just depending on how the card looks and where I think I might need to fill in with additional embellishments. Once I have all of the embellishments where I want them to go, I'm going to grab a side fold card base. You might remember this background is going to completely fill the card base, and I was really careful when applying my ink direct to paper that I didn't go all the way edge to edge. That automatically gives it a little border all the way around. We'll add adhesive to the card base, place our background right there on top, use a Teflon bone folder to get a nice crease, and that's going to finish up this birthday card featuring distress resist spray and direct to paper inking with the Mama Elephant new Donut Treats stamps and coordinating dies. The supplies I used to create this card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more cards featuring Mama Elephant that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you joined me today, and we'll catch you next time.